So I work for the client and not the carriers. So I'm actually in complete agreement with you. I don't like insurance companies, which is why I do what I do. And a lot of people only have uninsured. They don't have underinsured, which is a big problem because it shows the carriers that you're not being responsible. So they're going to therefore turn around and increase your premium. And it's not like a $5 increase either. It's like a $50 to $100 a month increase. So it's...
So we are here with Laney Johnson.
Yeah.
And Laney is currently with Bingham Insurance Group.
Yes.
And that's new. You've been there not too long, a few months. Is that right?
September. Yeah, September.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, it's going great. Yeah. You know, I used to have my own brokerage with Goosehead, and then that was not going in the direction that I wanted to go for my business. So sold that in August and then decided to become a 1099 over at Bingham.
Okay. And what type of insurance do you do?
All. So auto, home, commercial, business, RVs, boats.
So all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff.
You write lines for basically anything.
Anything.
Okay. And you're helping me currently with
Yes.
my property insurance.
Yes, we are. We're going to get it done
Yeah.
correctly.
Awesome.
Yes.
And so you're kind of the enemy, the insurance companies, for me as a personal injury attorney.
Of course.
I mean, not really, but
kind of.
it's usually the adjusters that give me the problems, not the agents.
Yes, which is why I came over to the independent side, because I'm not affiliated with just one company like I was with State Farm.
Okay.
With State Farm, you can only write for State Farm. So that's a captive agency. So what I do, I'm a broker. So I work for the client and not the carriers. So
Awesome.
I'm actually in complete agreement with you. I don't like insurance companies, which is why I do what I do.
Yeah. But it's important to help guide people in the right direction.
Yes.
And figure out what they need and what they don't need is probably as important as what they do need, right?
Yes, it's more important to understand what you do not have than what you do have.
Yeah.
Because you may think you have flood insurance because there's a flood line listed on the home policy, but it's not really flood. So you got to have an agent who's willing to go through each coverage, make sure, especially when it comes to commercial or business insurance,
Right.
as you know, things are done in a certain way. And if they're not done in a certain way, then you can be a creek without a paddle.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the things that I like to tell my clients to always look at on their policy is uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. And I like to stress the importance of having it because even though everybody in this state, probably every state, is required to have auto insurance.
Yeah.
I think the estimate is 18 to 20% of Georgia drivers don't carry any insurance, which is totally scary. So
It's insane.
maybe 1 out of 5
Mhm.
drivers, could hit you and not have any insurance. And then unless you have insurance,
Right.
you can't recover from an insurance company.
No.
So I think I tell all my clients to go look at their insurance policy, talk to their agent and see if they have it and whether it's the appropriate level of coverage for them. What are your thoughts on coverage?
I would never write a vehicle policy without it, even if it's a 1999 Honda Accord. At the end of the day, who wants to be hit by someone and then not get paid out at least what they're owed? And
Right.
uninsured, underinsured motorists, it's not a big portion of premium on your policy. So to add it on, you're looking at maybe $5 to $10 a month, depending.
Right. So it's a lot cheaper than your liability,
Right.
your collision.
Mm-hmm.
And tell people what the actually covers. If somebody hits you, right, it's going to pay for your medical bills, your pain and suffering, right?
Mm-hmm. So acts as liability paid to you. So your liability on your policy pays to the other person, whereas uninsured or underinsured motorist pays out to you. Now, there is a difference between uninsured and underinsured. And a lot of people only have uninsured. They don't have underinsured, which is a big problem because a lot of people are driving around with state limits. So that means you get $25,000 for your medical bills. You get $25,000 for your vehicle. If you're driving a 2025 brand new Yukon, guarantee that thing costs more than $25,000.
Yeah, that's not going to cover it.
Yeah. So then that's when the underinsured motorist comes into play. So you can still take that $25,000 from their policy and then get indemnified by yours.
Awesome. What are some other things that misconceptions that people may not know about in your industry that you like to advise people on?
My number one thing when it comes to insurance is have an agent. Do not go through these carriers directly. You have no one in your corner if you don't have an agent. So I think insurance companies do not handle claims appropriately. They don't handle clients appropriately. More times than not, you hear people talking about how much of a headache it is during a claim. Very rarely do you hear someone go, oh my gosh, that claim was like amazing. I mean, yes, it does happen, but more times than not, you're going to get an adjuster who's either new, doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't care what they're doing, and they're just trying to get your claim off their plate. So when you have an agent and you're not being handled properly, that agent can step in and be like, whoa, because as an agent, you should know more about their policy than they do. So that's my number one thing. And in the state of Georgia, we're a no-fee state, meaning we legally cannot charge fees for our services. So you're not paying anything more to have an agent.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you get paid?
Through the carriers.
Gotcha.
I get a portion of the premium.
And so you're kind of trashing the insurance industry, but I didn't pay you to say any of this. And this is coming from an insurance side.
Yes, absolutely. I've been in the industry for almost 13 years. I was with State Farm for about 9 of them. And the last year that I was at State Farm, I was on the phone with the claims department getting roof claims that were denied or returned. And I was like, listen, like if this is how it's going to be, I'm going to have to jump ship. And I just kind of saw, especially after, I know this term, but COVID really did a number on a lot of industries, but it really did a number on the insurance industry. The fraudulent claims that's upticked, I mean, it's insane. And then throw on the catastrophic messes around the nation. I mean, but yeah, insurance companies, they're not a non-for-profit business. They're a for-profit business. So,
and that's understandable. But you think it's your opinion that your agent should be your advocate.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's more important, or do you think it's more beneficial to have an independent broker such as yourself, or somebody who's captive like a State Farm or Allstate agent who only writes lines for that company? Do you think one is, I guess, a better advocate than the other?
So there is something to be said about captive agencies. I will say State Farm, they offered a great product at the end of the day and great pricing. But you can only write for State Farm. So say your premiums jump up at your renewal, they can't do anything about it other than raise your deductibles or lower your coverage. Whereas an independent broker, if say I have you with Progressive, your insurance rates go up, like say, because every carrier is going to take a rate adjustment at some point, meaning that every single client on their books is getting a rate adjustment. And that's because they as a business have either paid out too many claims, brought on too much bad business. So I have the ability to go in and reshop you with 15 other carriers. Whereas now if you're with a captive and your premiums have gone up, you're kind of stuck there and doing the work yourself.
Yeah. And then the only option to lower your premium is to reduce your coverage, which is less than ideal probably.
We don't want to do that. Yeah. I don't believe in reducing coverage if you don't have to, especially in today's day with how much everything costs. State limits in Georgia have not been adjusted in decades. I mean, $25,000 for bodily injury, that's an ambulance ride.
Yeah.
Easily. Like if you're having to get life flighted, if you're in a bad accident, $50,000 for 2+ people, and then $25,000 for property damage.
And let's explain to people what that actually means. So if you're in a car accident and somebody hits you and they're at fault and their limits, they've got state minimum coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what's called 2550, right? So $25,000 per person, $50,000 for everybody who's in your vehicle, or if there's multiple vehicles, that's the max their insurance company is going to pay.
Yep.
And that doesn't go very far, like we just talked about.
No, you see it on your end with medical bills. Like, it's insane.
And that's something that we have to educate some of our clients on all the time. Even if there's, say, a wrongful death claim, right? Like the family can only get up to $25,000 for that person, which is
insane. Yeah, it's insane. So my first question when I'm talking about uninsured motorists is, do you have major medical? Do you have health insurance? Because if you have health insurance, that will kick in and take care of you. Yeah, you might have a high deductible, but you at least have something on that end. And then from there, if you don't have health insurance, I'm bumping liability and up to as much as you can afford. And then I'm putting on medical payments as well.
Okay. And talk about medical payments coverage. What is that?
So medical payments is separate from every other coverage. Medical payments pays out to you and anyone in your vehicle. So say someone comes, hits you, they're at fault, but you and 3 people in your car hit your head and got to go to the emergency room. You can opt to have medical payments on your personal auto that will pay out for those injuries. So granted, it's not a lot. Most carriers only go up to like $5,000. But hey, if you bump your head and you go to the emergency room, that's at least something.
And that's separate from the liability limits, separate from the coverage. It's extra, basically, coverage for just medical bills.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't cover pain and suffering, lost wages, things that the other sort of coverages will cover.
Right.
I get a lot of clients asking me how to appropriately, I guess, evaluate what level of insurance that they have on their, whether it's car insurance or property insurance. How do you, I guess, advise your clients how to determine those levels of coverage?
First things first, I want to talk about assets. Like, what do you have in your possession? If you have nothing, you ain't got nothing to lose.
What are you really insuring?
Exactly. Right. Now, if you've got a $1.5 million home, and that's the first thing that I'm seeing, because usually clients come to me for home insurance first. I'm looking at that. And of course, if they're coming to me for home insurance, I'm going to be looking at their auto. And everyone thinks their home is their biggest asset, which it's one of them, but really your income is your biggest asset. And people don't think about that. Like, what if you get paralyzed, and you can't work, So I want to know, how much is your annual income? And then what do we have in just your basic savings, checking account, easy access assets? If you have more than $250,000 in assets, then I'm going to suggest an umbrella policy to make sure that that additional liability is taken care of. But yeah, you want to be, liability coverage is considered asset protection. You want to make sure that all of your assets are covered under your umbrella of your insurance. Because if not, and something bad happens, they can garnish wages, they can put a lien on your home, they can dip into your 401k if they want to. I mean, anything's...
And we're sort of dancing around it, but what you're talking about is, if you're at fault or you're liable, somebody gets hurt on your property, or, you get into a car accident and it was your fault, but you're not properly insured, some attorney like myself is going to look at your assets and say, wow, they have this huge house, or they've got this 401k.
Yep.
And I'm going to forego some of the insurance, and I'm going to go after those personal assets because it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. If you're not appropriately insured to the level that your assets are, then an attorney can come after your personal assets instead of the insurance.
And they will.
Yeah.
I mean, the economy is ruthless today. And at the end of the day, if you caused a situation, that person's legally owed to be indemnified.
Right. And it's understandable, right? If somebody is catastrophically injured through no fault of their own, and there's all this money out there that somebody has that caused the injury, they're entitled to come after that.
Yeah. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, insurance is not where you want to skimp on. It's just not. And we've got a lot of people out there that are ambulance chasers,
I don't know what you're talking about.
where they'll go and want to get into an accident and get paid out. I saw that a lot on the claims side when I was an adjuster. Like someone gets bumped in a McDonald's drive-through and they're like, oh my gosh, I have $100,000 in medical bills. No, there's no damage to your car. So people like that, like, you know,
it happens.
It does.
I'll say on my side, I don't see that often.
Well, your clients are legitimate. You know, Parisi Law Firm's legit.
Yeah. We try to vet people.
Good. But yeah, I mean, it's just, there's a lot going on in insurance. And if you're not properly covered, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, I feel like. It's a matter of when it's going to happen. It's just the influx of people to Georgia, the influx of people to Jackson County as a whole. I mean, I was driving here and I was passing by a tow truck that had 6 smashed in vehicles. I'm like, good Lord.
Well, it is Monday.
It is. You know, at least it was at 9.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I tell people all the time, you know, driving is the most dangerous thing that we probably do in our lives, right? You know, you're going down the highway,
80,
70,
90.
80, however fast you drive,
55.
And it's scary. So you got to appropriately insure yourself. But I want to switch gears for a second. So you mentioned that you were with Goosehead. You had your own agency. And you recently sold that. Can you take us through what that exit was and how that looked for you as a business owner?
It was actually easier than what I thought. So especially in insurance, books of businesses, so that's what it's called when you have an agency as your book of business, your clientele. I just decided that Goosehead was going in a different direction than what I wanted for my agency. They wanted these mega multi-million-dollar agencies, and that's just not. I want something comfortable and easy to manage, small town feel, and I honestly wasn't prepared to sell. I just was praying to God for like the last year of like, is this my end all be all? If not, like show me a different path. And he did. And so I put my book up for sale, actually on Facebook. Facebook is
really
pretty resourceful. And in a day I had it sold.
Really?
Yeah.
You had, how many offers did you have?
I want to say 10 to 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
In one day on Facebook. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And was that process, was it difficult to sell?
Nope.
Did you have any legal representation when you sold it? How did that work? Was it just you and the buyer? Okay. And
the buyer was, yes, we did negotiate the price because Goosehead could have bought my business back, but they're not going to pay as much for it as someone else. I actually know the guy that bought my book of business. I had a lot of people from out of state wanting to buy it. A lot of investors and whatnot, they like to buy books that are out of state so they don't have to really manage it.
Okay.
But no, a guy friend of mine bought it and he didn't have any legal representation. I didn't either. We actually used ChatGPT for the for the contract. ChatGPT is awesome too. But yeah, no, it was sign. And
how long did the whole process take? But from the time that you posted it on Facebook?
It took about 30 days.
Okay. Pretty quick.
Because with Goosehead, you have to have the legal team review the contracts, make sure. Okay,
so some lawyer looked at stuff.
Yes, yes. I mean, I guess you could constitute it as both of ours or none of ours. But yeah, Goosehead was like, does everything look good? Okay. But yeah.
Cool. And then smooth sailing, got out of there.
Yeah.
And then you landed with Chad Bingham at Bingham Insurance Group.
Yes.
In September.
Yes.
And that's been going great.
It's been going so great. So when I was at Goosehead, I didn't have any employees. It was just me. I know y'all may not know me or some of y'all may do, but I'm a very personable person. And I was working essentially by myself for 5 years. And I was like, this is so boring. Like, I can't talk to anyone. I talk to my clients and I'd like keep them on the phone for like an hour and they're like, gotta go. I'm like, okay. Tell your kids I said hi. But no, the girls in the office are amazing. Chad's awesome. Everyone gets along. Great place to be. So
cool. And what's different about this agency than, say, the other that you worked for, Goosehead or State Farm? What's different about Bingham Insurance Group?
probably just the camaraderie. Like, there's no tension between any of us. And like, everyone gets along, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to, like, especially at State Farm when I was running the office, I had 13 people under me, and a lot, like, in insurance, it's a lot of young people too who are selling, and you get 13 young people together, there's going to be some drama. Mm-hmm. So it's nice that the office that I'm in is no drama. Everyone does what they're supposed to do. Everyone has their own book of business, and everyone helps each other out.
Okay. And how do you find your clients?
I have all of my clients come to me from word of mouth referrals. So I work a lot with mortgage lenders on home closings. And so, yeah, it's all word of mouth. I don't buy leads. I just get out and network. And
nice. And you're always out. I see you everywhere.
Always.
Hitting the pavement at all the chamber events.
Yes.
You're doing a great job getting your name out there and your face out there.
I thank you. I think that it's very important, especially in a county such as Jackson County, and with such a prominent chamber, that any business owner gets involved with the chamber. I mean, you see how much stuff they do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's business and breakfast every first Wednesday, small business lunch and learn, second Wednesday, women in business, third Wednesday. And without the chamber, I would have not been able to get my business to the point that I got it to and sell it for as much as I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure Steve Witchery would love to hear that.
We love us some Steve Witchery.
And also, I'd be remiss if we didn't mention that we were members of the same graduating class of Leadership Jackson.
Best class
ever.
2025. Yeah. I mean, we did have the best project.
Yeah. Tell us about that project. What did we do?
We did the inaugural
Jackson County Agricultural Hall of Fame.
Farmer Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long, phrase, but we inducted 3 people into the Hall of Fame who are farmers. And so we chose this because Jackson County alone has 743 farms, which is insane. So we're a big farming community, and that's kind of where Jackson County is known for. And we figured, why not honor the people who've created this beautiful land?
Yeah. It was awesome.
It was.
Is there anything that you think your clients or people that are shopping for insurance need to know right before the holiday season? Is it because it's something that it's not on people's mind, but it's the end of the year.
No.
We're coming up on a new year.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that people should be thinking about that they're probably not right now?
They should not spend as much money on Christmas and make sure they can pay their bill in January.
Yeah.
Outside of
Easier said than done sometimes.
Yes. A lot of people get stuck in a rock and a hard place with this time of year. So if you are having issues with making a payment, then reach out to your agent or reach out to your carrier. They'll work with you instead of because if you have one day lapse in coverage, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Your insurance premiums skyrocket.
Yes. You don't want to lapse.
And with all of the holidays going on, people are very forgetful with their regular routine. So, I mean, just during this time, I've seen a lot of people forget to pay their insurance bills. So just remember to pay it.
Don't blow all your money on stocking stuffers.
Yeah, just make sure that insurance is paid, because if it's not, you're going to get into an accident and then you're not going to have coverage.
Yeah. And tell us what is the consequence of having a lapse? And a lapse is where you don't have coverage for a certain amount of time. You said even if it's one day.
One day.
What is the practical consequence of that lapse?
So you won't get fined from the state until it's been 10 days in the system that you've not had insurance. However, with the insurance carriers, everyone asks on their applications, have you had a lapse in coverage? That means 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day. And so if you say yes to that, it shows the carriers that you're not being responsible. So they're going to therefore turn around and increase your premium.
Yeah.
And it's not like a $5 increase either. It's like a $50 to $100 a month increase. So it's
expensive to have a lapse.
It's a very expensive lesson to learn, and you don't get that off of your record until like a year later. So you're going to see at least 2 renewals with a lapse on there.
Well, that's good to know.
Yes. So pay your bills.
Yeah, be careful. Don't let that lapse.
And if you don't drive.
And don't drink and drive over the holidays.
Yes. No, let's not do that either. Let's be alert, drive safe, arrive safe.
Anything else that you think Jackson County and the world needs to know about Laney Johnson, Bingham Insurance Group, or insurance in general?
Just that if you're looking for someone who is actually going to read through your policy, explain coverages, go through options with you, I mean, I'm your best girl. I've been
doing. Take the time to sit down and walk us through things like you just called me earlier today. Talk about my issues. Yeah,
because it's very important. Like we said earlier, it's important to know what you have. It's more important to know what you don't have. And I can't figure out what needs to be covered if I'm not going through it with you. And a lot of agents don't do that. They just slap a policy together, ask for payment, and then never pick up their phone again. So I'm a very hands-on agent. I'll tell people all the time, especially when they're buying homes, they're obviously shopping around. You should be shopping around. And for instance, I had a client come to me 2 weeks ago. We had already set her policy up for her closing, but she was like, hey, I'm going to go with American Family. They're $500 cheaper. I was like, okay. I was like, send me over their quote. Let's see. Because every home policy is different.
Right.
Every single one. And she sent it over to me and I'm like, well, I've got a flat deductible of $2,500. They've got a 1% of $5,500. So first things first, if you have a claim, you're already out $3,000 more than what you would be with my policy. So that $500 that you're saving now turns into you're paying money. She was like, oh. I was like, and your liability is only $300,000 and I have it at $500,000. Medical payments isn't listed. Water backup's not listed. So it just, you want to make sure auto policies, they're pretty standard. You got your liability, your uninsured motorist, comp, collision, towing.
Right.
But homes, a little different.
And they're contracts.
Yes.
They're big contracts.
Yes.
They're not short.
No.
They are written in a way that the normal person, I think, may not be able to understand them.
Absolutely
or
not.
at least parts of it.
Yeah.
So I think you should have somebody take a look at it and explain to you what is in this contract before you sign it.
I mean, you would think, but I've also had some clients who are like, you're fine. It's good. I know. I'm like, okay. Thank goodness I'm a morally sound person.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's it.
No, I think that's totally important to have an advocate on your side who can give you the honest truth about what is in this policy versus this policy.
Yes.
Because those are things that, it could drive you crazy, I think.
Would.
To try to, I guess, compare two different policies that are totally different.
Well,
which one's best for you?
Yeah. And how do you know if insurance isn't your industry? I mean, I knew nothing about insurance before I came here. So I assume that most people don't know the ins and outs of insurance. You probably shouldn't unless if you're in the industry. So,
well, we know we have to have it. And we know that somebody like you will be in our corner.
Yes.
How can people find you?
You can either call me, which is 770-856-6316, or you can email me, which is Laney, Laney, at Bingham Insurance Group, Bingham Insurance Group.com.
And that's Laney Johnson, Bingham Insurance Group. Yep. And where are you guys located?
We're located off 53 in Brazelton.
Brazelton, Georgia.
Yep.
Awesome. And do you service all of Georgia? Just this part?
No, we service all of Georgia. We can also service North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Texas, Iowa. and a few others.
Wow.
So yeah. Hit me up.
Hit her up. Laney Johnson, Bingham Insurance Group. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
This was fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
High five.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.